Welcome to combat training. In this video, we'll identify and break down the skills, tactics, and strategies required to use cover effectively in Armored Core 6 battles. This training is geared more towards newer pilots earlier in their careers, but there might be something you can use even if you're already an ace. Let's dive in. One tactical skill in PvP combat that cannot be overlooked or developed enough is the use of cover. This is as true in real combat as it is in AC skirmishes, and leveling up your awareness of and ability to use cover, on top of the other skills we'll cover in this combat training series, is essential to remaining competitive in higher level play and climbing the ranking ladders. Why is cover use important? Well, there's a few reasons. The obvious one is to avoid taking damage and ACS strain. Another reason is to force your opponents to waste an attack, particularly with a threatening weapon or missile barrage so that it goes on cooldown, providing you an opportunity to counterattack. This also applies to things like pulse armor, where you can retreat, take cover, and let their pulse armor time out. Taking cover also gives you a physical buffer to recover depleted energy, lead off impact strain, let your shield or weapons cool down, or reposition your AC. This is also a great opportunity for you to use your scan function to get a beat on your opponent if you don't have it already. And with the scan lock, you can see your opponent through cover and even begin your missile lock on from safety. Then just pop out, launch your missiles, and head back into cover. Taking cover also forces your opponent to reposition, possibly wasting energy via ascending, quick boosting, or assault boosting to find you. Think of it this way. Anytime you can use the environment to block or evade an attack instead of using energy, whether it's quick boosting, assault boosting, or ascending, or even using your shield, you are conserving your own resources while your opponent wastes theirs. And this is Combat Strategy 101 applied. You probably won't deplete their ammo reserves in a 2-minute PvP match, but forcing a cooldown can give you an advantage. Fortunately for ranked play, there's only 3 maps to skirmish on as I'm making this combat training. This makes it easier to learn the maps and the cover opportunities they provide. But I also encourage you to learn how to find and use cover on any map, especially if you enjoy playing in public or private rooms or competing in tournaments. Always observe your opponents and their tactics to both learn from them and adapt to their strategies, and this includes the clever usage of cover. Have you ever been frustrated by an opponent who always seems to dip behind a rock or a building when your missiles are about to hit them? That's playing smart. So aside from the obvious sources of cover such as buildings and structures, you can also use the landscape. Ledges, rocks, hills, craters all provide opportunities to protect yourself from incoming attacks. As you become more adept at finding and taking cover in the moment, you can also layer on attacking from behind cover. As I mentioned, if you have scanned your opponent, you can start your missile lock on and pop your AC out just long enough to fire them off, or fire them off from behind cover if you're using like the vertical plasma missiles or maybe some drones. This can work for charge and stance-inducing weapons too. Duo missiles can also be fired around certain obstacles if you know their firing pattern. Keep in mind that your opponent's loadout can also affect how you use cover. If your opponent is equipped with weapons that deal splash or AoE damage, they can use them to apply some chip damage and stagger to flush you out. Earshots and vertical plasma missiles are great at this, so always be aware of your opponent's offensive capabilities. Also, I've even seen the hammer clip through walls in some circumstances, so be careful. Another thing to consider is who has the AP lead. If you're in the lead in a PvP match, there's less incentive to pursue your opponent. This means you can hunker down somewhere, defend your position, and counterattack. Your opponent must come to you or lose by default. Conversely, if you don't have the lead, you'll need to pursue your opponent so you can defeat them or gain the lead. It's not enough to use cover for yourself. You also have to anticipate your opponent's use of cover and respond accordingly. That means not wasting your weapon's uptime by firing into cover blindly, or taking shots that can easily be evaded by taking cover. Watch what your opponent's doing. If you have the AP lead though, forcing an opponent behind cover so you can recover energy, reload your weapons, or cool down weapons and shields is a viable tactic. Learning the skill of taking cover in a fast-paced battle can be tricky. At first, you might find yourself tripping up or getting stuck on cover. Don't give up. Make sure to use quick turns and even unboosted movement to make small adjustments behind cover. And of course, practice makes perfect, so as long as you make a concerted effort to use cover, you will gradually improve over each battle. That's all for this combat training. I hope you found this video useful in your quest to level up your AC piloting skills and wish you the best of luck on your journey. And please like and subscribe, it goes a long way in helping this content reach other Ravens. And don't forget to check out the other upcoming videos in my combat training series. Is there a combat topic you want to learn more about? Let me know in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.